Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your SOAR Send Off webinar, our final SOAR moment together for this 2025 summer. Whether you have joined coffee chats, virtual socials, or have messaged on Viva Engage, we are so glad that you've come along for this ride. And tonight is all about celebrating you and what a month it has been. Next slide, please. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the history of the land which Queen's University is located on. As Canadians, we have a collective responsibility to recognize the injustices committed against Indigenous peoples who have lived on and cared for this land long before the arrival of European settlers. Queen's Campus, where I'm joining you from today, and which you can see in the picture here, is situated on traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. The Kingston area, originally known as Cataraqui, has been home to Indigenous communities for thousands of years and remains a place of significance and ongoing relationship for many Indigenous peoples today. As a student, I am grateful for the opportunity to live, work, and study as an uninvited guest on this territory. It's important to understand that Queen's, like many institutions in Canada, was established through colonial systems that displaced Indigenous communities. As a settler and a guest, I carry a responsibility to reflect on that history and to contribute to a more just, inclusive, and respectful future. If this is new to you or you'd like to learn more, I encourage you to explore the resources offered by the Office of Indigenous Initiatives and the Four Directions Indigenous Student Center, both online and on campus here at Queen's. Thank you for taking a moment to reflect with me. Next slide, please. Before we begin, I'd love to quickly introduce myself to you. My name is Maddie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a concurrent education student entering the final year of my Bachelor of Education this fall with teachables in history and geography. I've also had the privilege of being this summer's SOAR student lead within the Student Experience Office. Supporting new students is something I care deeply about because I know how transformative it can be when you feel like you belong. It has been such a pleasure seeing how you all have taken advantage of the SOAR programming and the special connections you have formed with your peer ambassadors. I can tell you honestly that every single question, Viva Engage message, coffee chat booked, and virtual social attendance have meant so much to me and all of the PAs, and we will cherish all of you who we got to interact with. I've had so many wonderful memories this summer through SOAR, but one that really stands out was Camp SOAR, the virtual campfire social. If you attended that social, drop a message in the chat right now and let us know. It was awesome seeing many of you laughing through some outrageous would you rathers, opening up during the campfire circle and chatting with your PAs like old friends. And that's really what SOAR is all about. Even through a screen, that energy was so real. And I left that social feeling really inspired. Tonight, we're celebrating just that, what we've all created together. We'll reflect on what we learned, hear from the amazing peer ambassadors who have been your guides all summer. And yes, we will also announce the SOAR Cup winners, so stay tuned for that. If you do have any questions or thoughts at any point, feel free to drop them in the chat or use the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we'll get to all of those questions related to SOAR, any other SEO programming, or just university life in general at the end of the webinar. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to the First Year Foundation Summer Webinars page in the coming days. Next slide, please. This summer was all about connection before content, building comfort with campus life and figuring out what matters to you. So let's take a moment to reflect on our takeaways. Please drop in the chat one thing you're taking away from SOAR this summer, and I'll give you all a second to put your responses in. I'm seeing the first comment here. Thank you for chiming in. It reads, time management is super important. Absolutely. I love that. That's a great takeaway, and I'm sure something that all of the PAs can vouch for. Another thing someone wrote is talking to upper year students isn't as scary as it initially seems. Virtual snaps for that one. I remember when I was in first year, I was terrified of talking to any other upper year student as I totally idolized them. But then you realize they're in the same boat as you and have walked in the same shoes as you, and it makes that relationship really special. Someone else wrote, so far, Queens seems way more welcoming than other universities. I am so glad that you feel that way. I think it's a unanimous opinion that Queens has a really wonderful sense of community and that you will be supported in your transition to first year and through each different seasons of your life that you go through at university. PAs are chiming in with lots of awesome sentiments about how prepared and engaged the incoming students are, is that it will be an amazing academic year ahead. And someone else wrote, learned a lot about the transition, and it really eased my nerves. Things like self selection for residents, choruses, and being able to connect with a lot of people. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that. You hit the nail on the head with everything that we were hoping to get at. If I could ask for you to click again, Dorina, we've got some SOAR summer highlights that we've shared as well with quotes that I have taken from the PAs. The first one is, it's okay not to know what to ask yet, and curiosity is enough, which lots of you are commenting on. One of the biggest things is just starting to ask questions and being curious, and that's where you can discover where your passions lie. Next click, please. We also have, you're not alone in feeling nervous about making friends. Everyone is. This is especially true. Lots of you in the chat are talking about the community at Queens and how lovely it is to connect with someone else. And I think we can all say that through summer orientation, we've been able to have one familiar phrase or connection online that we'll be able to take with us to campus in the fall. Next click, please. We also have community doesn't start in September. It starts the moment you show up online. If this isn't a testament to what online SOAR has been, I don't know what is. And we have seen just how awesome it has been to engage through Viva Engage, but also coffee chats and socials. And you all should give yourself a pat on the back for showing up and participating in these events to really put yourself out there. Final click, please. We have growth happens outside your comfort zone. Absolutely so true. You all have been able to put yourself in a position to meet someone else, talk to someone in an upper year position, and that alone is scary. So, congratulations to you for taking that step. Next slide, please. Okay, everyone, let's transition into playing something a little bit fun. We are going to play Summer SOAR Bingo. It's like bingo, but with SOAR vibes, of course. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to read off some superlatives, and if they apply to you, drop it in the chat. Let us know that you've done it and check them off. And once you get bingo, also let us know in the chat, and you'll get some bragging rights. Our first item on our bingo for tonight, let us know if you have attended 3+ SOAR events. And this can be anything: webinars, socials, coffee chats. We have our first one, attended 3+ SOAR events. Yes, love it. We've got a couple people checking that off. Look at you all go, superstars. That is amazing. Next slide, please. Our second item for bingo is you watched a replay instead of a live. So perhaps you watched a webinar or social after the fact and you saw the recording instead. Has anyone accessed that summer webinars page? Simranjeet did. Amazing. That SOAR kickoff webinar was just too fun, and that SOAR Cup intro video absolutely needed to be seen. Love that. I'll ask for the next slide, please. Our next bingo card is made a new friend through SOAR. This could be another incoming student. Perhaps you chatted through something or grabbed each other's social media. This could be a PA. Maybe this could be a PA to another PA where you've become friends. Loving it. Seeing lots going on. That's amazing. I'll ask for the next slide, please. Participated in a giveaway on Viva Engage. Some great prizes going on down there. Did anyone enter it? I remember that first giveaway, you had to introduce yourself, and there was $50 of flex up for grabs, which let me tell you, that flex goes by too fast in first year. Loving it. Love it. So glad that people participated. That's so fun. Amazing. I'll ask for the next slide. There we go. Has already bought Queen's merch. Ooh, has anyone visited campus and bought it? Perhaps ordered online? Let us know in the chat and let us know what item you got. Does O Week Commerce merch count? Absolutely. 100%. And I'm so excited to see you rock it at all those commerce orientation events. Jamie loves tricolor. Absolutely. Q Shop code. Amazing. Don't forget that we do have that Q Shop code exclusive to SOAR to get you that discount. That is awesome. So glad that folks are doing that. I'll ask for the next slide, please. Bingo, if you are moving from another province or country, do we have any folks at home who are out of province or international who will be coming to Ontario and Kingston? Let us know. A beers in Dubai, that's amazing. Phoebe shouting out her Alberta folks, absolutely. That's fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And our last item for our SOAR bingo is you connected with a peer ambassador through a coffee chat. Let us know if you were chatting away. I'm so curious to see if anyone here booked a coffee chat. A beer, you're on fire. That's so impressive. Love that you did that. Has anyone hit bingo? I'm so curious. Did anybody get 5 of those items? I think we have a few, perhaps. Let us know in the chat if you've hit bingo. I'll ask for the next slide, please. Speaking of our peer ambassadors who are absolutely blowing up the chat right now, and I love all of that encouragement, it is now time to hear from those folks. They are the superstars who ran your coffee chats, who made the virtual socials the best time, cheered you on Viva Engage, and made all of this programming way more welcoming and exactly what it is. On that note, next slide, please. It is time for 2 clicks, Darina. PA Hot Seat. This is a rapid fire round where we put our peer ambassadors on the spot with some fun, reflective, and silly questions all about their Queen's experience. And it's a chance to soak up a little bit more of their wisdom, their humor, and their advice before they say goodbye. Let's get into it. And peer ambassadors, hope you're ready. Up first, next slide, please. We have a question for our peer ambassador, Tate. Tate, your question is, what was something you were nervous about in your first year at Queen's that ended up being totally fine?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Maddie. Thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. This is such a good question. There are so many things that I was worried about that ended up being totally okay once I got here. The one that sticks out to me the most, I think, is I was so worried that it would be really difficult to make friends or socialize with other people in my lectures. But I found this absolutely wasn't the case. Personally, I'm in life sci, and we have so many smaller tutorials of just like 20 to 30 people where I met so many friends, and also in like in my residence and orientation, there's just so many opportunities to meet so many people. So that was really awesome. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you, Tate. That's amazing. I'll ask for the next slide, please. We have PA Carter up to bat. Carter, you are being hit with a this or that question. Lazy scholar food versus common ground coffee house food. Where are you grabbing your on campus food from?
Thank you for the question, Maddie. I hope everyone's having a great evening. But for me personally, as a super late night owl person, I just have to say that I'm more familiar with Lazy Scholar than any other food places on residence, just for the fact that it's the closest to latest at 1 a.m. in the morning, which is perfect for a late night snack after a 9 p.m. class or a late night study session at Stafford. So if you ever see me at Lazy in the middle of the night, make sure to bathe.
I love that, Carter. That's so perfect. Truly, nothing finishes off a long study night like perhaps some nachos from Lazy or a taco bowl. All so good. Thanks, Carter. Next slide, please. Calling on PA Wenny. Wenny, would you rather have 5 exams during your term or have an 8:30 a.m. class every day?
Okay, I'm guessing neither is not an answer. This is low-key giving picking between bone cancer or skin cancer because I hate both of these. But since I'm gonna be getting a job in the future, I say just having 8:30 a.m. classes every day because it's just good preparation for that. So yeah.
That's such a good answer. So true. Waking up is hard, but you get used to it. That's awesome, Winnie. Thank you for sharing. Next slide, please. Sophia, it is your turn. Our question for you is what's the weirdest or most unexpected club or orientation event that you accidentally loved that you weren't expecting to be such a fan of, but it turned into something awesome?
I definitely think the most unexpected event that I really liked at Queen's would be during orientation would be the tanning ceremony or all the different chants and cheers that we learned. It definitely felt very unusual and kind of awkward at the beginning to be put in such a situation. But I think after that, it was really interesting and you kind of got a sense of community. And well, at the beginning, it did feel a little bit like you were joining a cult. I feel like everyone had that same like feeling and it just felt like a big sense of community.
So true. I love that, Sophia. To all our incoming students here who register for faculty orientation, we've got some super awesome orientation leaders ready to give you TAMs, teach you some cheers, maybe do a little year dancing. And at first, it feels really weird, but then if you just let yourself enjoy it, it is the best time ever. Thank you for sharing, Sophia. Eniola, you are our next PA. We are giving you a this or that question. It reads Stauffer first floor grind, or are you working in Douglas Library basement? Over to you.
Thank you for the question, Maddie. I'm actually quite biased with this one because I'm more of a Douglas girly. I feel like Douglas Library Basement, especially during exam season, allows me to lock in more because there's no service there, so you can't use your phone or get distracted. Software floor grind would be more like calm, getting assignments done, or like just something really casual. But I'll definitely say like Douglas Library Basement for sure.
Love it. That's so awesome. Thank you, Annie. It's so true. How many times have I gone down to Douglas basement during the day and reemerged and it's dark outside? Time doesn't exist down there. Thank you for sharing. Our next PA is Michaela. Michaela, we are asking you what's a queen's myth or stereotype you believed until you got here?
Thank you so much for the question. I would say that this is more of a general answer for a lot of universities, but I think the biggest stereotype is that going into university, you have to know what you want to do in the future. Exactly. I find that this is not true at all. I'm sure some PAs in health sci can definitely attest to the stereotype of health sci students are all gunning for med school, which is not the case at all. And your mind and opinion can change with that, especially in concurrent education. Although teaching is the most common pathway, it is not the only option. And especially as first years, you have so many opportunities to explore, to take practical courses, to see what you really enjoy, and to maybe explore a field that you'd be interested in working in the future.
How true. Thank you so much, Michaela. No two degrees look the same, and I really appreciate you sharing that. Next, bringing back our merch vibes, we're calling on Jamie, and we are asking you this or that tricolor merch or Queen's vintage merch that you find at a thrift store.
Thank you for the question, Maddie. And this is a really tough choice, but I'm gonna have to go with tricolor merch. And this is because I personally own the vintage Northerner crew neck, and it's super cute and goes with everything.
Love it. Thank you. Queen's merch just matches with everything, and it's the perfect cozy to study in or to wear for a walk around campus. So that's great. Our next PA we're calling on is Abed himself. Abed, we have a would you rather. Would you rather wait in the Tim Hortons line at the Queen Center for 20 minutes or sit in the front row seat of a 500-person lecture?
Ooh, okay. I think I'm not gonna lie, I actually like sitting in the front row of lectures, so I'm gonna have to go with the front row of the 500-person lecture. Like, I mean, think about it like this. If I'm waiting in line for 20 minutes at the Timmy's, like I have options, right? I could go to the Pita Pit, I could go to the Booster Juice, I can go to the Kogro, I can go to the Zappy, I can even go to the J Duck and enjoy some of the new restaurants that are opening this year, like Cloves and Spice. Again, they have some great shawarma. There's the brew that's opening that's also based off Kogro. Like I have options. I don't need to wait 20 minutes. I can even go to the Timmy's and Bioside, right? So yes, I would sit in the front row of the 500-person lecture.
You make a good point. You've honestly sold me on this, Abed. That's a great call. And don't be afraid to sit in the first row. You never know what it might do for you. That's awesome. Thank you. Harshita is the next PA we are putting in the hot seat. Harshita, your question is if you could go back to day one of Queens, what's the one thing you tell your first year self?
That's a really good question. I feel like if I was facing my first year self right now, I'd tell myself that it's okay to take a day off or maybe 2 days off. It's much better to take that day off and prioritize my well-being compared to sitting there after weeks of burnout, trying to figure out what I'm doing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. Burnout is real, and there's nothing wrong with prioritizing your own well being. I totally agree. So, thank you for bringing that up. Next, we are heading over to PA Chi Chi. Chi Chi, what's something scary that you tried at Queen's, whether joining a club, going to an event, taking a class, and you ended up loving?
Yeah, I can definitely say that I had to go to a conference by myself one time, and this was at the very beginning of first year. So I didn't really know anyone. I was really nervous. It was downtown Toronto all by myself. And I think I actually ended up really loving that club. And I actually ended up applying to be on that club for March hiring in the fall or in the winter, just because it really taught me that yeah, like it's scary to go places alone, but you can really grow from that experience and you can learn so much more from that experience if you were going with other people as well. So I really liked that.
That's incredible. Virtual snaps for you, Chi Chi. Thank you for sharing. How brave of you to do that. And you should be so proud of taking that step. Next slide, please. Phoebe is in the hot seat. Phoebe, we are asking you this or that fall at Queens or spring at Queens. What's your campus aesthetic?
That is such a good question because I do love Queens in the spring. There's so many different tulips and different flowers all around campus. But I think I would have to say fall because I love when the trees start turning orange and red. It's so gorgeous. There's so many great nature spots around Kingston and Queens. I would highly recommend everyone go around, take a walk. Don't like spend 3 hours at Stauffer. Take a little mental health break. And I think with the cooler weather, you can have better fashion moments. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone dripped out in the fall, walking the streets of Queens.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you, Phoebe. Next slide, PAKK. We have a would you rather for you. Would you rather take a surprise midterm, scary, or run into your professor outside of class and forget their name? Also scary.
Honestly, yeah, both of these options sound terrible, but I think having a surprise midterm is actually my nightmare. So I'm gonna say run into my prof outside of class and forget their name. I'll just have to like hide behind for the rest of the semester, just sit in the back of the class.
That's so funny. Not joining a bed in that front row seat after all.
No.
That's awesome, KK. Thank you. Simmerjeet, you are up to bat. Our question for you is, what's one moment or memory that made you feel like you belonged at Queen's?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I would say when I did the summer orientation for the first time 2 years ago, this is my third time doing SOAR. When I was on my first day, it was really interesting to see just how the community cultivated around me and how I was able to facilitate people making friendships and then them remembering me and then later in the academic year running into them. I would say that was definitely something that made me realize that I am part of a bigger picture now, and the community around me is somewhere I'm going to be spending like my couple of years. And it really made me feel that I belong here, and this is my home away from home.
I love that. Thank you, Simmerjeet. Community is so important, and getting involved in it and giving back is one of the most rewarding parts. And Simmerjeet is our resident SOAR legend. And so he is the PA to go to for all of those things. Finally, last but not least, we have PA Nikki. Nikki, we have this or that for you. It is fall orientation energy or end of year nostalgia. What hits harder?
Okay, wonderful question. Both of those feelings are irreplaceable and memories that I've will keep with me forever, but the end of year nostalgia definitely is an unbeatable feeling. The feeling of relief after finishing all of your exams and then being able to hang out with your friends one last time before everyone goes to their respective hometowns. It's really nice to look back at the year that you just had and see how much you grew from September to April. And knowing that you're going to come back in September and have another great year where you're going to grow and learn so much. I seriously love, love, love the end of the year. And it's going to be summer. So that's also an irreplaceable feeling.
Love it. Thank you, Nikki. So true. Listening to sad music at the end of the year never misses. That is so awesome. Next slide, please. Thank you so much to our peer ambassadors for all the work that you've done this past month, but for sharing your stories and your laughs and your infinite Queen's wisdom. I think we can all agree that you've made SOAR so much more welcoming and fun this summer. I'll ask you to click, please, Dorina. So thank you, PAs. And to all of our attendees in the chat, give your PAs a huge thank you and a round of virtual snaps for all that they have done. And while our time together through SOAR might be coming to a close, I want to reassure you all that you are not stepping into September alone. Your relationship with the SOAR peer ambassadors may be wrapping up, but there are so many amazing mentors, guides, and supports waiting for you at Queen's, and people who are ready to walk alongside this next chapter with you the whole time. One of the best ways, in fact, to stay connected and feel supported this fall is through a program called Q Success. Whether you're looking for study tips, someone to talk to, or just want to figure out things with someone who's been there, done that, Q Success is there to help. To tell you more about what Q Success has to offer, I'm going to pass it over to Annika, who is the phenomenal mentorship student lead within the SEO, and she's going to talk to you more about that. Over to you, Annika.
Thank you so much, Maddie. So hello, everyone. My name is Annika. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going into my 4th year of concurrent education. And as Maddie said, I'm currently working as the mentorship program student lead with the SEO. And one main aspect of my job is to assist in the planning, coordination, and delivery of the Q Success mentorship program. So just to give you a little bit of like introductory information about Q Success, if you haven't heard about it before, it's a first year one-on-one mentorship program where incoming first year students can self-match with upper year mentors to receive ongoing support assisting in their successful transition to university life. Q Success programming is open to all first year students, and it can help you develop skills to succeed academically, including time management, note taking, and study skills. learn to balance the academic and social demands of university life, develop strategies to stay physically and mentally healthy, meet peers and develop a campus community, connect to other campus resources that can play a role in your success. And most importantly, a mentor can be your listening ear as you navigate the challenges and, more importantly, celebrate the successes of your first year. So students can actually self-match with a peer mentor at any point throughout the academic year. Students are encouraged to apply prior to the beginning of the fall semester or early in the fall semester, wherever possible, just so that they can get the most out of the program. Q Success utilizes an online mentorship platform where students can filter through available peer mentors and self-match based on their own needs and interests. And then I'll just go on to the next slide here. First year can be super intimidating. There's new experiences around every corner, but your Q Success mentor is here to help with an array of different topics. If you're thinking right now about what topics kind of interest you in your transition to Queens, please take a moment to scan this QR code, or I believe there's also going to be a link in the chat, and just choose maybe 2 on that screen of areas that pop up to see kind of what you're concerned about leading into your first year at Queens. And then we're going to see kind of where everybody is at kind of statistically. Just give you a second to do so. All right. Okay, so it's so good to see. Maybe a couple more coming in. That's wonderful. Yeah, so we can see here, these are all very normal things that people are thinking about on your mind. Maybe you've already had a conversation about some of these with a SOAR peer ambassador, and you're looking for a little bit more support that can carry you throughout the school year. So I'll just go on to our next slide here. I want to give you a little bit of an insight into what the top 4 areas of interest were listed on mentee profiles in the previous school year. So as you can see here, similarly to our Mentimeter there, academics is one of the largest areas of interest of support. University is very intimidating, and while Q Success mentors are not there to kind of give you direct support on course content, they are there to help you build your toolkit, your study skills, and prepare you for any challenges you may face in the future. We also see extracurriculars and clubs, degree plans, courses, friendships and relationships, all some very heavy general first year kind of topics that we're talking about. So our Q Success mentors are very well trained and well equipped to help you navigate all of these topics and more throughout the school year. This support is also not only limited to these broader categories, but individual mentors can also be found within your specific program, within representing your specific lived experiences. And you might even be able to find a mentor that is specifically involved in an extracurricular that you're interested in. So just to give you a little bit less of the admin talk from me and to go on to some more personal insight into Q Success, I'm just going to pass it off to one of our senior mentors, Kavi, to speak about his experience. He'll also be around to answer any questions during that kind of Q&A period at the end. So if you have any, you can get some ready for him. And yeah, you can take it away, Kavi.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Annika, for that amazing introduction, and to Maddie for having me on this webinar and allowing me to speak about this amazing program that we're bringing to you guys for this fall. So in terms of Q Success, I've already seen so much excitement in the chat from you guys about sort of just how SOAR has made you guys feel settled in, and just the idea of talking to upper years and connecting with them, getting to know students, plays such a huge role in sort of acclimatizing towards the Queen's community. So at the Q Success program, we sort of provide that opportunity to really get to know students, and upper year students specifically, and sort of seek them as you make this huge transition and open up this new chapter of your life. So as a senior mentor with Q Success, I'm excited to support incoming students as they navigate the transition to university life, something that I myself remember vividly from my own first year. I was a Q Success mentee when I first arrived at Queen's, as many of our peer ambassadors were as well. And the guidance I received really left a lasting impact on me. And since I was so inspired by that experience, I decided to return as a mentor in my second year, and I'm really proud now to serve as a senior mentor entering my third year in the health sciences program. So outside of academics, I'm an outgoing and energetic person. I thrive on building connections, whether it's through music, volunteering, gathering with friends for a group dinner, or relaxing evening by the pier. So much to do on the Queen's campus, as you guys have seen. You'll often find me around going for runs, performing with my a cappella group, or getting involved in the community events. So I really look forward to sharing what I've learned, helping others feel confident, connected, and supported during their own Queen's journey as well.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Kavi, for sharing your experience. You are truly an outstanding leader, and hopefully some folks at home will be signing up on Q Success right now, as I know that you, alongside all the other senior mentors and mentors through Q Success, have so much to offer and to support them. And thank you to Annika for sharing about Q Success and the logistics of it. And I think it's so reassuring and validating to see those statistics and knowing that those feelings are very normal and very valid heading into your transition. So now that we have heard from Q Success, there is another taste of Queen's community and support that is available to you. And it is time to also get excited for what's coming next, and that is fall orientation. Fall orientation is your next big step and your first big programming on Queen's campus. It is 2 weekends full of activities and experiences designed to help you connect, explore, settle into university life, understand your new environmental, social, and academic contexts, and have really meaningful memories. There are 2 main parts of orientation to look forward to. Next slide, please. The first of these is university orientation. This is organized by the Student Experience Office, where you'll meet students from all faculties and all backgrounds. These events will focus at large on finding one new friend, and you'll be learning more about wellness, equity, your community, and navigating your transition into university life through all of that. This is a picture on the screen here from university orientation last year, and I can tell you that that tricolor parade and stadium welcome still gives me chills when thinking about it. The second aspect, next slide please, to fall orientation is faculty orientation. This is programming that happens within your own faculty. So if you are in commerce, you will have commerce faculty orientation. Con Ed has Con Ed faculty orientation. Same with kinesiology, computing, the Faculty of Arts and Science, engineering, and so many more. Let us know right now in the chat if you have already registered for faculty orientation. During these events, you'll be able to meet other students in your specific program and faculty. You'll be able to build friendships and ask questions about academics specifically, and start creating your support network. This picture is from the White's Farm event of Con Ed orientation last year, and it just brings back all the warm and fuzzies right after first years get tammed. So let us know if we have any Con Eddies here, and this is an event that they will be able to look forward to. Together, both parts of fall orientation are designed to make sure that you feel welcome, prepared, and connected before classes even begin. To learn more about what to expect, we'd love for you to join the fall orientation webinar happening on August 6th at 7:00 p.m. EST. We'll talk you through what's coming up, introduce you to the team's planning fall orientation, and answer all of your questions so that you can head into September feeling confident. Next slide, please. All right, everyone. Now is the moment that we've been waiting for. All summer long, your faculties have been battling it out through Viva Engage, through event attendance at webinars and coffee chats and virtual socials, all for the glory of winning the first annual SOAR Cup. You brought the energy, you brought the vibes, you brought unreal levels of SOAR commitment, but in the end, there can only be one winner. So without further ado, drum roll, please. The 2025 SOAR Cup champion is the Faculty of Health Sciences. Congratulations, Health Sci. You rocked it. You brought an unparalleled sense of community. You were asking all the questions. You did such an amazing job at showing up to events and bringing just really positive energy. And we are so proud of you. You diagnosed the path to victory, injected unbeatable enthusiasm, and had zero chill at trivia night. And you absolutely prescribed yourselves a win and operated like pros all summer long. It was a healthy competition, but Health Size scrubbed the leaderboard clean. And I hope that you all enjoyed my medical puns. Congratulations to all of our Health Sci students and our absolutely awesome Health Sci PAs. You have officially earned bragging rights until next summer. And to everyone else, don't worry. SOAR Cup 2026 is only 12 months away, and there can be redemption for our other faculties. Let's give it up in the chat as you've been doing and give a huge round of applause through emojis for our champs. And to everyone in Health Sci who is joining us today, all students in the Health Sciences program will be entered in a giveaway to earn a $50 gift certificate to Heal Wellness Kingston, which is a local shop in downtown Kingston specializing in all natural superfood bowls and smoothies. This is an awesome way to keep you fueled through your first year. So keep an eye on your email for a message if you are the winner of this very coveted prize. Next slide, please. Okay, everyone. Now is the time where we want to hear from you. How are you feeling about starting this new chapter at Queen's this fall? What questions, thoughts, and concerns are on your mind as you get ready for this transition? Please use the Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen to send in your thoughts, and feel free to use the anonymous option if that's more comfortable, and we'll do our best to answer as many questions as we can during this time. We will have myself, Annika, Kavi, and all of the awesome PAs answering questions, and we hope to give as much insight as we can. So drop your questions right now, and I'll give you a couple of moments to do that. Kavi, our first question is headed your way. It asks, as a mentor, what were some of the challenges or interests that you supported your mentees with?
Thank you so much, Maddie, for the question. That's an amazing question as well. Like coming into sort of the Queen's community, there are obviously a whole bunch of different things that sort of students, have on their minds, and like they want all these types of questions answered. And it's perfect having a mentor, because a mentor is pretty much your buddy that can sort of walk you through all these different aspects since they've been through it themselves. So definitely some of the challenges and interests that I personally in my own mentorship journey sort of supported my mentees with, and even challenges that I had myself as a mentee, would be just first focusing on like the particular transition into university, sort of being like the for a lot of my mentees and for a lot of students as well, the first time being away from home, being in a different place, sort of having, sort of your own agency on like what the journey is going to look like, making your own decisions, creating the community for yourself. And I often tell my parents, it's like, where I grew up near Toronto, that's like my family's home, but Kingston became my home. So how did I make it my home? Getting involved in meaningful extracurricular activities is a huge one, balancing academics with social life, fostering open-mindedness, self-growth, all these really, really new sort of feelings that accompany the university transition, and just guiding them as well to explore the many resources available on campus and in the broader Queens community. So that's sort of the main points that I hit as like sort of a mentor with my mentees, and just sort of really embracing the experience is a huge thing. And I feel like oftentimes it's easy to fall into that scope of like being super stressed about the academic piece. But I feel like as you transition to university, you really take the time to get settled, build those social connections, reach out to those profs, connect with those organizations that you have passion for, the academics sort of comes even better at that regard. So I think just finding that whole approach of balance is a huge thing that we like to emphasize within the Q Success program. And as knowing that all our mentees come from very different backgrounds is hence why we have all these amazing mentors with many different backgrounds and experiences, and the mentees can really self-select in that aspect to sort of find the best fit and find the best approach towards this transition.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Cavi. Really appreciate your really thorough answer. And I can totally agree that finding Kingston to be your home as opposed to sort of your school is really special. Our next question is going to go to Chi Chi, and this is a commerce specific question. Chi Chi, it reads, for commerce, I understand there's 6 units in Com 101 AB, and I know you need to take 6 units for electives. First question, does Com 101A still add 3 units to your first term and count towards the 15, and then the other 3 units in the winter semester count for that term? Chi Chi, if you're able to provide some insight on this.
Yeah, I can kind of answer in regards to Com 101A and Com 101B. For Com 101A, that would be 3 units, then Com 101B would be another 3 units. So overall, you would get 6 units for the whole course for the whole year. Um, what was the first part of the question? I think that was the second part, but was there anything else?
I think you answered that perfectly. Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you for that
perfect.
clarification. That's perfect. Thank you. Our next question, I'm going to ask PA Nikki, as I know she's utilized this specifically, but are you allowed to go to office hours with your professor, even if you don't have any course related questions, but just want to talk?
Yeah, that is a wonderful question. Of course, you can visit your professor's office hours, even if you don't have a question about the course content. It's highly encouraged to make a connection, a one-on-one connection with your professor, which can really help you even beyond the classroom and throughout your undergraduate degree. There are many opportunities at Queen's to have research positions or other experiential learning opportunities, which professors can really help you along the way. So definitely highly encouraged to visit those office hours, even if you don't have a question.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Nikki. Next question, I'm going to send the way of PA Wenny. Wenny, the question is, do you have to attend tutorials or are they optional? I know they're highly encouraged to go to.
That's a really good question. Yes, tutorials are usually required. Your attendance there is required because a lot of the times your mark is, or like a portion of your mark, your complete mark for the course is tied to attendance and participation to that tutorial. On top of that, it's useful to go to tutorials because your TA, your section's TA, will usually be talking about your assignments, the sort of guidelines for it, as well as providing some help and a chance for you to ask questions if you have any.
Amazing. Thank you, Wenny. That answer is super appreciated. Next question, I'm going to ask Simmerjeet, who has his finger on the pulse of student life, figuratively and literally. The question is, how do Queen's students often spend their weekends on campus?
I mean, there's numerous amounts of activities you can get up to. You can go to the pier with your friends, you can check out downtown, you can be on campus hanging out with your friends in one of the various buildings. JDEC is a great spot to just hang out and relax. If you are wanting to have some background music, Cobro, which is Common Ground Coffee House, or the second floor of Queen Center, they always have some amazing music playing in the background. The other peer ambassadors have been sharing quite a lot of things in the comments. But me personally, I've always been on the lookout for clubs that are hosting events on the weekends. Just going there without any previous planning allows me to meet new people and definitely also get the free food that they're always offering.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Simmerjeet. Next question, I am going to ask Tate. Tate, the question reads, when you were an incoming student, did you complete the FYF 100 course on OnQ, and how important is it? Perhaps I'll send that to a different PA. Over to PA Carter. I'm going to repeat the question again. When you were an incoming student, did you complete the FYF 100 course on OnQ? And how important is it?
Actually, for me, I spent my first year at Bader, so we actually have a Bader version of the FLYF 100 course, and I found it super helpful, especially if you're going to a new environment. You kind of need that support for various stuff like how to navigate the city, how to navigate course selections, all that kind of stuff. I think it's a really useful resource that the SEO has offered to me, and I definitely recommend everyone who to use it if possible.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Carter. Absolutely. The FYF 100 course on OnQ is also open throughout your entire first year. So at any point, you can refer back to it, check out the resources it offers through different programs on campus and through the university. And it's a really great touch point if you are wondering about something or struggling with something and you don't know where to look first. You can always rely on FYF 100 first. At this point, I have a question about campus safety, and I'm going to turn it over back to Nikki to talk about Walk Home and what that is all about.
Thank you for that question, Maddie. Walk Home is a student-run service on campus, and it is completely free of charge for anyone in the Kingston area to use. It is essentially a nighttime safe walk service. So we can walk you home or to campus, anywhere with a 2.5 kilometer vicinity from campus. So pretty wide area there. If you're living on West Campus, it's a great resource to get to campus at night. We are open from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on weekdays and 3 a.m. on weekends. So for those pretty late study sessions on campus, we'd be happy to walk you home so you never have to feel alone or unsafe on campus.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nikki. I'm going to give Nikki a shout out as she is the Walk Home head manager this year. And I know that she would love to see you and meet you all. So come by the Walk Home desk in the newly renovated JDuck and request a walk. I've made so many great friends on those walks home. We have another question for Kavi. Kavi, it reads, what does the self-matching process entail?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. So I alluded to that sort of in the previous question as well. So something really amazing that is offered by the Q Success program is that mentees can actually match with a mentor as per sort of their interests, and seeing the mentor's interests as well really helps them find an authentic connection rather than a lot of the programs that sort of auto assign mentors and mentees without really looking into this whole compatibilities piece and background piece as well. So the self-selection process is essentially something that we offer on our platform on Mentor City. It allows mentees to choose a mentor that they feel aligned with, whether that's based on shared experiences, academic programs, personal interests, or lived identity. The Mentor City platform allows mentees to put down about 3 to 5 areas, such as the ones I just mentioned, and as well mentors putting those areas down, and then uses like a matching tool to sort of sort these different aspects and sort of show mentees and mentors which sort of individuals have put down similar categories, and then giving them the opportunity to reach out directly on the software. And it's really great because mentees can even meet with a few different mentors before finalizing one. And the Q Success platform also allows mentors to reach out, which helps mentees if you're a mentee that's feeling a little bit shy to make the first move or take the first step, and sort of want as well like mentors to take that effort. Then it really, really helps sort of mentees build that connection, reflect on the kind of support and connection that they're looking for. Thanks for the question.
Amazing. Thank you, Kavi. That clarification is so appreciated. We've got time for two more questions. Chi-Chi, a question for you that is commerce specific. The question is there a course unit limit for commerce?
Um, yeah, so for core commerce courses, all of them will actually already be put into your schedule automatically, so you won't actually have to worry about any of your core courses. But for your elective courses, in the first year, you will only be able to take 2 electives, so one for the fall semester and then one for the winter semester. And then for the next for next year for the second year. You're actually able to do your electives over the summer if you would like, or you can also do them during the year as well. And you can also do 2 electives for your second year. And then when you get into third year, you can do more electives and ongoing as you go into fourth year.
Amazing. Thank you, Chi-Chi. Appreciate those
Of
insights.
course.
I am sending our next question over to Abed. Abed, the question is, as an incoming out of province / international student, does Queen's offer a temporary storage option to directly deliver medium or large items to campus, later picking them up during move-in?
Ooh, that's a great question. And I remember as an international student, like traveling overseas, I only like all I brought with me was two luggages. There are a lot of storage solutions in Kingston, for example, like Martin's Peoples and other storage solutions. I guess it really depends on the item. So, for example, like if you're bringing a fridge, for example, like you can get that delivered. There's also a dedicated move-in team on move-in day, which will help you move your stuff into your residence during move-in day, and they're a really great resource. So yeah, Queens in the Kingston community has a lot of great resources for you to move your stuff in if that's something you need to do.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Abed. We have a question here that says, is there a link to coverall size chart for faculty orientation? Pasting in the chat right now is a website link to the fall orientation page within the SEO. Under the heading faculty orientation, you will see a hyperlink to each of the different faculties. And under here is an email address for the head of that faculty. I would highly recommend sending an email to that faculty head, as different faculties have different offerings and sizes and quantities, and they will best be able to speak to the coverall sizing chart and recommendations there. And I know that all of the faculty heads would love to receive an email from you and will promptly respond to it, and will answer any questions about that you have. Our last question that we are going to take today, I am going to direct this question towards Phoebe. Phoebe, the question is, how easy would you say it is to find a house off campus? I heard people start early because it's difficult.
Yeah, this is a great question. So if you're already thinking ahead, I love how prepared you are for next year. I would definitely say check out the there will be talks from the off-campus living advisor. They hold a few different webinars during the year about tips on how to find a house, what websites to go to, what to look out for when you're signing a lease, and you're able to make appointments with them as well to ask for advice. In general, I would say people do start looking around November, December, but my biggest piece of advice is to not feel pressured at all if you're not able to find a house within that time period. January and February, there is still tons of options out there as well, and it is kind of a rolling basis as people start moving out and start moving in. So it's definitely something to keep in mind, but don't feel too pressured that you have to start right away.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Phoebe. Echoing everything you said with the link I pasted in the chat for the off-campus living advisor. Here you will find a wealth of resources for living in an off-campus community, finding potential housemates, and booking an appointment to meet with someone to help you through this process. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of your questions, and to all of our amazing panelists here for answering them and sharing all of their expertise. I will ask for the next slide, please. We want to highlight some upcoming events that we have. As aforementioned, the fall orientation webinar will be a fantastic opportunity to learn about all things orientation. Also upcoming, we have a residence move-in webinar, which I can't recommend enough. From all things mattress toppers to parking zones, all of your questions and logistics for that day will be answered. And finally, we have a webinar for parents and supporters about supporting your first year students. So give your parent and supporter a nudge. This is a great opportunity to hear from Karina Fitzgerald, who is the Dean of Student Affairs at Queen's, about all things support as you head into your first year. Just like that, we have reached the end of our SOAR journey together, as bittersweet as it is to say. The last thing I would like to highlight is that as we head into August and get closer to move-in and orientation, make sure to keep checking your weekly emails from the Student Experience Office. These emails are your go-to source for important next steps, including move-in and orientation, how to register for events and webinars, key deadlines and to-do lists approaching your move, and tips, resources, and support to get you ready for September. They'll land in your Queen's inbox every week, so don't miss them. Turn your notifications on, and staying on top of these updates is one of the best ways to feel prepared, confident, and connected before these classes begin. Now, to wrap up, goodness gracious, from coffee chats to virtual socials, to webinars and Viva Engage, every question you bravely asked along the way, we want to extend a thank you to all of you. Thank you for showing up with curiosity and openness and courage, whether you joined every event or peeked in and then you left. You've already taken really important steps to prepare for what's ahead. SOAR, as you will have learned, isn't about having everything figured out. It's about starting the journey with support, with people who believe in you, and with a little less fear of the unknown. We hope you're leaving this month feeling a little bit more confident, a little bit more connected, and a whole lot more excited about the amazing chapter you're about to begin. While our SOAR chapter is closing, your story is just getting started. Fall orientation is around the corner. Your first week of classes is just a few weeks away, and your Queen's experience is already unfolding. I extend wishes from myself, the peer ambassadors, and the entire Student Experience Office. Congratulations on completing SOAR, and we can't wait to see you in September. On behalf of the SOAR team, thank you for soaring with us. We wish you all an incredible rest of your evening, a lovely beginning of your month of August, and we will see you on campus in September. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.